Hello everyone and welcome back to the pre-recorded sessions for the FSF campaign. This is our second episode and this recording contains one of my absolute favorite moments that took place in our campaign in the years that we've been playing it. Essentially, for context, if you haven't listened to our first episode, the FSF party members have all died and their souls have all gone to different planes of existences. Nyxi and Zummyar, Monika and Padon, their souls currently are off in different planes of existences and are kind of unknown at this moment. One of them is detected, and they might be able to find out where that soul is. And the they that might be able to find out is Richard the Large, played by Ben, and Faelyn, played by David. These two are able to find the souls for these characters because they are currently in the Abyss, specifically the Death Dells, the home lair of Yanagu, the Lord of Savagery and Butchery. Richard, through his actions of chaos and cannibalism and madness that he has enacted upon the material world, has had his soul be claimed by the Demon Lord. Now, Richard had died in a previous session many sessions ago, and when he had died, he had made contact with the Lord Yanagu for the very first time. Now is the second time he has returned to this plane. However, he has been not immediately found by the Lord. In fact, Richard has had to travel through the planes for a great deal of time and has had to reconnect with Faelyn, as well as Morris, the young boy that he had immolate himself and Faelyn, who is now a demon. Richard and Faelyn are now seeking a way to get out of the Abyss. And there was a moment in which Richard had prayed to his grandmother, Grace. Believing that she is on the celestial plane, Mount Celestia, he hoped that he would be able to connect with her. While he was not able to connect with her directly, he was able to contact a diva that was actually on the lair of the Death Dells. A diva named Francesca, a creature that was being torn apart for a never-ending supply of food, was able to break away from the demons and find Richard and Faelyn. The three of them were able to travel through the Death Dells and found that there was an iron fortress far off in the distance. Francesca tried to avoid this fortress altogether, knowing it was a terrifying place. Unfortunately, it became very clear to the party members that Francesca, while wanting desperately to help save Richard's soul from the grasp that Yanagu has on him, Francesca doesn't know the path to get out of the Abyss. She doesn't know how to get out of the Death Dells. And the party members knew that and abandoned her, trying to find their own way. This involved Faelyn getting on a Puriton to be able to fly, getting closer to the fortress of Yanagu, hoping to find something. And while Faelyn was able to get there and fought off dozens of gnolls and large hyenas, unfortunately, she was not able to survive this full encounter, and she was knocked unconscious as she got to the gates of the fortress and then picked up and held together by two chained devils. When Richard was brought to the fortress, Richard himself walked to the fortress and was ushered in by 4 Fangs of Yanagu, powerful spellcasters that work in service for the Demon Lord. They ushered him into Yanagu's central chambers, only to find that Yanagu was not there. Instead, a servant demon was there, a 2-headed being with a head of a snake and the head of a wolf, waiting for Richard. And in the center of this chamber, there is a giant pool of blood that geysered outward. It started to just simply almost like a fountain feature, rush, shooting up into the sky. And in the blood, there was a figure, a face, a creature, a gnoll that is on the material plane contacting Richard directly. This gnoll is Naya, and she is Yanagu's chosen, a gnoll gifted or cursed with long life, who has been tasked with making sure that the Lord is brought back to the material plane. And Naya reaches out to Richard, hearing and knowing of his name, seeing omens for so long. She is now able to speak to Richard. And years of waiting for a sign and a creature to help bring the Lord in, to help her with her cause and her life's task. She now meets Richard and gives him a very difficult decision to make. This is one of my absolute favorite sessions. I will warn you, there is extreme violence in this session, involving dismemberment and heavy, heavy amounts of carnage. But despite all the bloodshed, I hope that you are able to enjoy this session as much as I did. Thank you so much, and enjoy. Yunagu, Naya looks to you and smiles.
You are not a false prophecy, but you must prove it, Richard. The Lord demands you commend your soul, bind it to his will, connect to his soul, grow in his power, and you must share in his gifts, his bounties, and he will share in your force. You will make him greater than he ever was. And you, when you grace the material presence again, when you grace it with your form, you will usher in an age the likes of which Perelia has never seen. Richard, will you give yourself to the Lord of Savagery and make the pact to connect your soul to his?
Ben, I want you to understand you have 3 choices. You can ruminate on these for a moment. This is a form of level up that is going to happen for you. You have 3 choices. The first one is to, as Naya says, to connect your soul. To bind your soul to Yunagu. This will usher in for you a first level of Warlock.
Yeah.
You will connect to becoming the Pact of the Fiend. Now, you have 2 other choices. You can choose to commit yourself to Yunagu, stainless, but you can also refuse the pact. You can refuse and keep your soul your own, so that the soul is not connected to Yunagu, and you get another level in Sorcerer. And you have a 3rd choice. To walk out. To leave this. To leave this behind. To go back and to not commit yourself to Yunagu, to this cause, to this prophecy, to this age. You can choose to walk away.
I will die. I will die.
You will die.
Yeah.
Faelyn will be killed. Your souls will be lost in the abyss. And Zummyar and Nyxi will forever be in their places. Which do you choose?
So, Richard would choose to end the fucking campaign.
You begin to hear, and you just hear.
What did you say?
Literally, if you do that, the campaign's over.
Yeah, that's true.
You can choose to end the campaign.
I don't want it. Fucking.
I'm gonna let you think while I use the washroom.
We'll let you think about this life-altering decision while I make boom boom.
No pressure, Ben. I know you'll make the right choice.
I want it to be Richard the Good. Oh no.
Alright, Richard. What do you decide to do as this bubbling place? You may make a public declaration in-game if that helps you as well.
Before I agree to this pact, I demand to see the Lord.
You now hear a voice from the being beside you.
I speak for the Lord, The Lord will not show his presence until you agree to this alliance, to this allegiance. Richard.
I have all the time. Some time is a funny little thing. You don't really care about it when you're in a place where it doesn't matter. And I tell you this. I will wait to see the Lord. I know how much you need me. Don't lie to yourself. Think about it. You need me for this. I demand to see the Lord.
See Naya as if the blood pushes towards you.
I know nothing of time. I have waited for 70 years! Longer than any of my kin to see the Lord this day. You think my faith has wavered in that time? You must prove your allegiance, whether he is present or not. And if you cannot do this, there are other ways to make you his own. Make your choice known now. Will you connect to his soul, giving yourself to him? Or do you keep it as your own?
I bow my head, and not out loud, with internally, I set out all of my sorcery points into this.
I think you used all your sorcery points.
It says I have 6 out of 6 still, but I believe you.
Okay, but sure. Anyway, I'm going to say, you tell me what it is you're trying to do. And I'll let you know.
So I bow my head, and I try and take in a feel for my grandmother, Grace. And in this time,
Okay.
I apologize, and I acknowledge that the choices I've made to lead me to this moment, from being raised by somebody who preached himself on compassion and giving and acceptance, and ignorantly ignoring that for my entire life, leading me to this situation where I either bond my soul to the dead, like the Lord of the fucking Yanagu. I reach out and I offer. You have 5 seconds. You have a moment to send me any form of message that you possibly can to tell me that there's another option, because I don't see a way that I can leave here without building this pack. Do I receive any message? Do I receive any...
Go ahead and roll. Make a religion check with advantage on this.
17.
Bow your head as if contemplating. And I'm going to let you know what happens outside of this for a moment, stepping out of this space.
Mm-hmm.
You see Francesca struggling on the edges of this forest, feeling the sense. Her celestial form glows yellow, golden, and she looks up, soars up into the sky, and races across the forest line. As the second she gets up there, creatures begin to kind of follow in time. They kind of notice this light as this light begins to rocket, heading towards the fortress, going. You hold down, still waiting. They wait patiently. They're still waiting. As you look up, you see the hole above Inagu's chamber as a faint, bright light slowly begins to come over the massing dark clouds before you. You see the light coming towards and forward and forward. It's rushing closer and closer. In a moment, you see in through the hole, Francesca rushes in through, almost like coming towards you, arms extended, coming to kind of grab you and pull you out of this place.
Francesca, let's go.
Grab Richard's badass. With a... Where is it? With a... Where was it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. With a 34, the Meladius, with its flail, slams Francesca into the ground, right before your eyes as celestial blood sprays across your face.
Okay.
The wings spray right at it. The snake head goes to Francesca, bites across her neck. And you see the poison begin to coalesce into her face as tears streak out and grace your face as well. And they take and chuck her to the side towards the gnolls. They all kind of like the gnolls on the side grab as rocks sink into the area, all begin to coalesce. The Melodius swings up the flail, batting them off to the side. The wolf's head speaks, and they all begin to back up, all to the edges, flying up out of the area. You see Francesca is now grabbed by these gnolls, and they begin to put her onto the slab, and she's like, and they begin to carve into her body, tearing her apart in front of you. You see as Naya looks to you.
You have given us the one piece to get you to your friend. I was the one who found the soul waiting to be claimed. I was the one who could find out where that soul would be. In the Bitopian oasis, they await.
Oh no.
And with this offering,
You see as they kind of carve, and one of them tears off Francesca's skull, pulling her scalp off and pulling her brain out.
with this,
You see one of them gestures to it, and it creates this kind of like sheen upon the brain.
we will have the gate ready, so you may find that soul. You have gotten all you need out of this celestial power. Now, give yourself to the Lord. Or do you resist?
Fuck.
Here's my question for you, Ben. Are you taking the warlock or are you taking the sorcerer? This is a mechanics-based thing.
The thing is, like, I don't feel like I can take the sorcery stuff because I feel like I cannot bear my soul into this guy, you know? Like, I feel like I don't have an option. Like, I can't say no. I will die if I say no.
Well, I'm telling you right now, so just so you
Yeah.
know, both options do not end the game. You can choose sorcery if you yourself would like to pursue a sorcery act instead, because I know like the idea of like getting as far as you can, I think. So that is option to you. But that is kind of the resistance that they're talking about. The connection with Inagu in terms of his soul, that is you making that connection so that as you grow, he will grow in terms of that, and you get those benefits. But if you go sorcerer, something else will happen, but you can have that choice. And it would still... I will let you know it will still be
Okay,
a thing with Inagu, but it's your choice, and you tell me what you wish to do as you descend down. gesturing with the blood of this diva dripping off of your body. The tears of her raking down your face, and I'm assuming mixing with yours.
Yeah.
As you feel those tears drop, you see them drop and they crystallize before your feet.
To be my most powerful, I cannot bear my soul to the Lord.
The Meladius looks to you. Looks down. Naya stares through the blood. Is there anything else you wish to say?
Hail Yanagu.
Hail to the Lord. And Richard, he will help you.
And as that is said, you feel something crack your skull. Warmth pulls over your ears, your face. The last thing you see is the blood pool go down as your body is batted backwards by the flail, and in slow motion you feel yourself hit the altar that has been formed behind you. You see the gnolls come towards you, and you don't feel this because now you are essentially dead.
Mm-hmm.
You feel just shifts on your body. What we see is Richard's body being torn apart. Skin, organs,
As I do.
everything, flesh, like being ripped apart. Each of the gnoll, these, as they are known as the elite fangs of Yanagu, pulling apart on his body and tearing it, and all of this. And then the one with the black bag holds it out. Even your soul begins to pour inside of this bag, and you begin to go into an abyssal void. Something you never... This is almost unfathomable darkness coming through this moment. You are gone. Caught in this swirling abyss, and it's madness. It's pure madness, chaos energy within this. Your form is lost. You are not you, basically, at this point. But you can remember just like you saw coming into it. And something strange begins to happen. Your body in the actual world, it is a mess that is scattered upon the that is scattered upon the ground. Jesus. The creatures begin to take the organs, shaking their staffs. The bone one shakes its staff, and you see the bones begin to reform. The bits one begins to shake, and the blood all begins to kind of reconnect, and the flesh one begins to shake, and the flesh begins to reform. I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I am not.
16.
16. Not bad. That's including your bonus?
Yes.
Let me find... Alright, Richard, with a 16. Your body begins to reform physically stronger. The body, your blood is no longer just regular blood. Acid almost pours through your flesh. And you begin to see that the creature, like as they're shaking it, this one creature jests out with its hand. Bees begin to pour in your flesh and begin to cinch up your body and begin to bite it through, infecting it, and you begin to, your lungs begin to reform with gas beginning to come through it. you begin to feel reconstructed in a way that is giving you something so much more powerful, more profound than you possibly could have had. But your body, this is not you right now. It's just an empty shell that is like opened up right now, gracing as your body reforms. Do you have any special requests on this reforming? It's mostly yourself, but do you want any, like, just any individual flair to it for the sake of it?
I would like my proportions to be the same. Catch my drift.
Yeah.
In general, the whole thing, the fat and everything. But I do want to look like not Freddy Krueger level skin fucked up. But I want to look unapproachable.
You're like Frankenstein's monster.
I want to look unapproachable, skin texture fucked up.
You got it. Yeah.
It's like the body doesn't look like it was broken, but the skin looks like something fucked up happened over there.
Yeah,
Don't look at that
exactly.
guy too much.
Also, like burnt, like when you see
like burnt, or like maybe like a grenade blew up in like the front of your house.
You're like a patchwork.
You look like you came out of a death match. Like
yeah, exactly. You are patched up. You have two things with you. I'm going to let you know this. You have resistance to poison and acid damage in your form. You also gain 1 HP automatically for every level that you go up. Nice. So you gain an additional XP. That's not a bonus on Constitution. You just have a bonus
on top of what I currently
have. Every level you will go up. You will just have like, so example, you're going to be level 7.
Yeah.
You get an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then each one, you get another one just there, another one there, like stacking. So you'll add 7 HP to whatever you have now. I also need you, Richard, to make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma.
I passed with a... Ooh, that's a good one. 19. Oh, is that a 6? 20.
You have a 20?
Dirty.
Good dirty, yes.
Okay. Richard, as you are in this void, you are going to be reflecting on your nature, like your being.
Yes.
What's your personality trait? What is your ideal? What is your bond? And what is your flaw as Richard the Large? What are they?
Well, my personality is...
If it's changed, you can tell me. You can just like...
I mean, it's pretty much the same as before. My bond right now is to...
What was it like in your mortal form? What was your bond?
What was it?
This is like, what was it exactly? This is talking about like what it was when you kind of like created the character, that kind of thing. Before, like even when it was changing within Yongu, that bond in terms of it always stayed with you. What was it?
My bonds were always to like my close, tight circle, and was mainly to myself. Like me first.
Sure.
Yeah.
To your grandmother kind of as well.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Your ideal? Yeah, what was it?
Everything that I do will lead to a greater purpose and great success for me.
Great. And your personality again? Sorry, I don't think you said that.
Unapologetic, just kind of like unstable, ego-driven, jealous, easily aggressed.
Right.
But also like oddly compassionate.
And what is your flaw?
Likes to eat organs.
My flaw is that I'm easily persuaded.
Easily persuaded.
And with that, I guess, craving acceptance.
Okay. As you are feeling yourself be pulled from the darkness, you feel yourself able to hold on. Going through, you begin to see the 4 bits of yourself, your aggression and your compassion still, but like that kind of lovable asshole kind of vibe you have. The ideals of like, you know, everything I have leads to a purpose. The bonds of friendship and family that has loved you and embraced you, and the flaw of needing self-acceptance and needing that love and needing that attention. One of these things is not coming back with you. And something from the abyss is going to change it.
Okay. You
get to decide which of those things you lose.
My flaws.
You want to lose your flaw?
Interesting.
Okay. You sacrifice that need for acceptance. And something much more dark encapsulates it that you do not see present. I'll show it to you later. You begin to feel yourself come back. There's one other thing I didn't tell you that comes with you.
Better be fucking Faelyn.
Morris.
And well,
But as the
mainly Faelyn.
Your soul is no longer a mortal soul. From now on, Richard, you're not a mortal. You're not just classified as a humanoid. You are a fiend. As your soul begins to reform, and almost as you take this breath, inhaled poisonous air fills your lungs. You begin to see it. You come back as you were, but you feel the surge of energy as this demonic power within you as you are reformed to be that of a fiendish nature. Staring at yourself, the blood kind of glows this purplish energy, this dark power inside of you. Light begins to come through. You see in this process, you see standing before you, now at the foot of the altar, the Lord of Savagery and Butchery greets you now. He stares at your face.
Rise, Shakoza.
As you come off of the altar and stand, reformed, remade, to be
I got
fat.
wings.
a truly new demon, a Shakoza, a being of wild, arcanic energy that is defined by you now and will live and die by you. In this moment, Faelyn, this has been like basically a full day in terms of this having happened. In the chains, you have revived because they have not separated, so you've regenerated. You now stand in this chamber witnessing this rebirth, seeing this construction take place. Noel's looking and salivating at you. One of them speaks in Nolish, and you can hear it. It says,
The return has been remade. Well done, brothers. Well done, sister.
looking at the bag one.
We have done it. Has the heart been curated?
You see the one with the big...
Yes! I have made it ready for the gate. We are there now. We must cast it and open it up. How long do we have? 1 minute. That is all we can spare. We must not allow the demons and devils to stop their fight, for fear they will cast inside of their packs. We will open it for them. What if they are to be left? Yes, what if they are left? Then...
You see the sister speak.
Then they are left, and their power will infuse purgatory for us to corrupt every soul there.
And they all begin to cackle and laugh. And Richard, you begin to hear cackling laughter as you rise up. They look at you, Faelyn, and they kind of begin to speak in Nolish.
Pity we will not be able to eat this one. It is rather tasty.
Say nothing.
Okay. You rise. The Lord of Savagery and Butchery stares at you.
Your soul is not mine, but your power is. You were made in my domain. You are my creation, and you will serve me.
demand of me?
I demand, when you return to the mortal plane, you find a way for me to enter in. You will find my chosen. You will be on their side